Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom, 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 Shabbat shalom, everyone. This is Uziyahu Ben Yehuda of Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. I just want to show you what we'll be getting into today. This Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. My motto is educate, building bridges, solutions. We got the Aleph, the Ayin, and the Pei. The red Aleph, the black Ayin, and the green Hey. And that's my website, www.afroasiatichebrews.com. We're going to go over Kush, Shem, and Kemet. All right. Now, one thing I wanted to go over is this. Afro-Asiatic has 6 different paradigms. You have Ometic, Berber, Kushitic, Shemitic, and Kemet. I don't know if I'm missing one, but I think I've said it over and over before, so y'all kind of know, y'all know what it is. But what I wanted to go into, I want to focus on Kush and Shem, because Kemet is in the scripture too. You had the Afro-Asiatic Hebrews. We had a relationship with Kemet. Yosef, one of our patriarchs, he had a wife. He had a Kemetic wife, and he had Manasseh and Ephraim. Those were his children, and those 2 children are actually numbered and named amongst the 12 tribes of Israel. So that lets you know that we were not hating on Kemet. Kemet was a part of our family. Kemet is a part of the 12 tribes. The father was Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, Shemitic, and the mother was Afro-Asiatic Kemetic, Hamitic, Kemetic, or Egyptian. But I also want to speak on Kush, because you had Moshe, or Moses, was from the tribe of Levi. His wife was a Kushite. He had children. And also Melech Shlomo, or King Solomon, he had Queen of Sheba, Queen Magda, which was I believe Habasha and Yemen area. They had children, which translates to Menelik, and then you have that line. But one thing I just wanted to show is that modern day, if you look at Kush, when you look at the paradigm for Kush, you'll see that Kush, Eastern Kushitic, I'm gonna show the chart. Eastern Kushitic is Oromo and Somali. So that is Kush, Eastern Kushitic. Central Shemitic is Afro-Arab / Afro-Palestinian and Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. And Southern Shemitic is Amharic Ethiopian and Tigrinya Eritrean. And the scripture talks about how we were scattered amongst the 4 corners of the earth. Isaiah 11:11 speaks about how we were scattered beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, beyond Ethiopia. So even scripture speaks upon how we was taken to the continent. And plus we had relationships with the Canaanites. We had relationship with the Cushites. We had a relationship with the Egyptians. So when you look at the sons of Ham, if you look at the 3 sons of Noah, Noah had Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Ham had Kush, which is Ethiopia, Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, Put, which is ancient Libya, and Canaan, which are the Canaanites. So we had relationships. We had children with the Canaanites, with the Cushites, and with the Egyptians. But Israel were Shemitic. But my whole point is this. I just wanted to show you that I made a flag for our people, which is the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew flag. All right. I got a smaller version. This is how the flag look. It's red, black, and green with the Shema in Paleo Hebrew. And we have the golden menorah. So we have that. Now, in the middle, that's the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew seal. So you'll see that seal on our official flag. Also, let me show you. I also have the ancient colors of Israel. I made a flag with the ancient colors, with the red, purple, blue, and the white and gold. Red, white, purple, with the blue and gold. Those are the ancient Israel colors. So I have the ancient Israelite colors, and I have the colors, the red, black, and green of Israel in the diaspora. All right. So once we are, so this represents our patriarch. This represents, Moshe, Dawid, Shlomo. This represents, Israel when we was established in 1446 BCE. So this flag is in remembrance and represents and never forgetting our foundation. This flag right here is letting you know where we're at right now, 2019, as they say, the year return, how Ghana has granted us, given us opportunity to have the year return. So these colors represent now. These colors represent 2019, us right now that was taken out of Israel, that was loaded up on the slave ships, that went to the four corners of the earth, and all the accomplishments and all the things that we've done, our martyrs, everybody we lost, all the contributions that we made in music and everything. The red, black, and green is remembrance of that. But we never forget our forefathers, our foundation. This represents Abraham, Sarah, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the 12 tribes of Israel, Moshe, Dawid, Shlomo, everybody, Joshua, Caleb, Yehoshua HaMashiach, the Messiah. So, this represents everyone before the 70 AD exile. So from 1440, this flag represents 1446 BCE to 70 AD. When we was a nation, the beginning, the foundation, that's what this flag represents. So we will always have this as a part of Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. This is also an official Afro-Asiatic Hebrew flag. This is our foundation. This flag just lets you know this represents Marcus Garvey. This represents, the Pan-African movement. I coined something, the evolved definition of Pan-African, which is Eden Echad. Echad in Hebrew means one. So the Eden Echad is one Eden, one Africa, Africa unite. You know what I'm saying? So, but Marcus Garvey of the UNIA, he came up with this flag, red, black, and green. He came up with the colors, red, black, and green. And we was able to use these colors. You have a lot of different African nations, they use the red, black, and green. And so, of course, the so-called African Americans, this is our colors. And so since we're Afro-Asiatic Hebrews, we have the red, black, and green, but in the middle, we have the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew seal on the so-called African American flag. So when you merge it together, this is the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew flag. So this represents who we are, Harriet Tubman, everybody, Nat Turner, Frederick Douglass, everybody, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, everybody, all the people who made contributions here in this soil, here in this land. So these two flags are official. Okay. Now, speaking on that, because that we went to a lot of different areas, in 70 AD, when we was exiled out, you know, a lot of us, we had to come to basically the Horn of Africa or North Africa. Some of us, we had to come through Egypt, or some of us hit north. So we're coming through Egypt. Some of us coming through Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia. You know, you got Djibouti, Oromo land. And so I said, you know what? So first, let me say this. With Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, let me tell you what we represent. The first thing we represent, we are Edenic. That means that when the scripture talks about where Adam and Hawa was placed, the continent that they were created on, what we call Africa, we call that Eden. But when we say Eden, we're talking about Africa and the Middle East as one continent. We don't just say Africa and cut off the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Because you have, you know, Mesopotamia, you have the Fertile Crescent, you have the origin of man, origin of civilization. You know, the Garden of Eden is by the Iraq, Iran, Kuwait border. You know, y'all have heard me say this a bunch of times. Excuse me, it's by the Iraq, Iran, Kuwait border. You know, we call that Eden. That's where the Fertile Crescent, it starts there and it curves over and it stops by Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah. So anyway, one thing with the ancient nations, you'll see that we always talk about either Sumeria or Kemet. Now, there are some other scholars, they speak about how, you know, the beginning, the writing, everything came from Mesopotamia, and they speak about Sumeria. So the researchers, you can check on, look at Sumeria, and Kemet. Those two are two big influences of the ancient world. Like when we're talking about the beginning and stuff like that. And Hebrews are always in question. Some people say, oh man, some of your stories, some of your stuff is close to, it resembles Kemet, but actually it will resemble more of Sumeria than Kemet. And if I'm not mistaken, you have other scholars like Brother Zion Lex. He speaks about how, you know, breaking down Sumeria and Kemet. You can check his videos, check his stuff out, where he was speaking on how Sumeria was first, then, and Kemet, I think their first pharaoh or their first person was connected to Sumeria, you know, and Sumeria, that's kind of where the Hebrews, we're closer to the Sumerian. That's like our Shemitic ancestor, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, not to speak on that, not the word, you know, because that's not my area or whatever. Yeah, I just wanted to say that what I did was I made some flags concerning these different Afro-Asiatic nations like Kush and Shem. Now, remember, Eastern Cushitic is Oromia. Now, when I show this flag, this is not to replace, disrespect the nation's sovereign flag. Their sovereign flag is their sovereign flag. What this is, what I'm about to present and show you, is something I created. It is to show an alliance, an Afro-Asiatic Hebrew alliance. So it's to show that me and Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, that we're supporting, we're showing love, we're showing support to the Oromo people. And for those who have the same love and support for us, reciprocal for us, this is what this represents. So we have the colors of the Oromo, the red, green, and red. And I know there's other different versions of the Oromo flag. I'll make those as well, you know. And what I have is the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew seal. So what this is first, it's like the olive branch. It's showing you, okay, when you see the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew seal on a nation's color, that's showing you that we have love and respect and we are an ally. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, okay, Afro-Asiatic Hebrews, we support you. We got respect for you. We got love for you, and vice versa. For those who are Oromo and support Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, you know, so both of us would show and represent and wave this flag. Of course, you know, Oromia, they have their sovereign flag. You know, they have their official flag for their nation. And this is the official flag of the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew nation. So you might see this flag, and then I'll have to get the Oromo flag. These would be the three flags. So you have this flag, you have the sovereign flag, and you have this flag, because this flag right here is the official Afro-Asiatic Hebrew nation's flag, right? This is our flag. This is my flag. The so-called African Americans that are Afro-Asiatic Hebrews in America, this is our official flag. Now, when you see this, it shows you that the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew seal is on that, which means that we are an ally. Like I said, we got respect, we're showing love. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Another thing what this flag may represent. This flag might represent, because remember, we have our ancestors, we have the Afro-Asiatic, the ancient Afro-Asiatic Hebrews, we were scattered to the different nations. So we might have, you know, in some of the tribes or clans or in the area, we might actually have some Afro-Asiatic Hebrews that's in, or that's a part of the Oromo nation. Also, what this flag represents, let's say if you had Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, or so-called African-American Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, excuse me, and you had an Afro-Asiatic Hebrew man, and he had a Oromo wife, and they had children, and so the children would be half Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, half Oromo. So what this flag represents, it shows that, okay, you know what I'm saying, they might get their Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, and they share both. They share both. But also it shows that, okay, well, hey, we're showing love and respect, and we're respecting the lifestyle, the culture of the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, their you know, their spirituality. You know, we just support them. And so this flag also represents, you know, hey, we're showing love to our Afro-Asiatic Hebrew brothers, showing love to the children. If there's Afro-Asiatic Hebrew and Oromo, they have children, those children will represent this. And if their father is Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, then they have their father's official flag. They have their mother Oromo flag, but this will represent them because they'll be unique, because they won't have just an Oromo father and Oromo mother. They might have a Afro-Asiatic Hebrew father and Oromo mother. But it also shows you that we're letting those children know that they are counted for, they are loved, and they are represented. You know what I'm saying? And it also gives them a way back to understand their Afro-Asiatic Hebrew culture. And so, and it's like, and the flag represents the alliance between us two. So that's Eastern Cushitic. That's Oromia. And remember, Moses, you know, I have to show Moses, which was Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, but he's of the ancient, you know, this is showing our patriarchs, our ancestors, our Afro-Asiatic Hebrew ancestors, right? From 1446 BCE to 70 AD. This is what this flag represents, all that history and all those people. So Moshe, you know, he's this, and he married a Cushite. So that could have been Oromia, or that could have been Somalia. So his children would symbolize this. You see what I'm saying? They'll be representing this. So any descendants that we find from Moses, you know, and his Cushite wife, they will represent this. You know what I'm saying? And so it's showing that love and the support. All right. So that's Kush, Eastern Cassette, Oromo. Now, we also have Somalia. So this flag also represents if you had an Afro-Asiatic Hebrew father and a Somali mother. They had children. This flag will represent those children because it's representing both. It's representing Somalia, and it's also not negating or denying the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew heritage and culture. You know what I'm saying? And also, this flag represents Afro-Asiatic Hebrews showing love, support, and alliance with Somalia, and it's also showing someone from Somalia that's showing love and support to Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. So again, you will have the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew flag, you will have the sovereign Somali flag, and then you will have this flag. And remember, so this represents the alliance from Afro-Asiatic Hebrew to the Somali community, Somali nation. The Somali nation showing love and alliance to Afro-Asiatic Hebrews. It also may represent any of our ancient ancestors who may be in the Somali clan or tribe or whatever. And it also represents the children, you know, the children between the two. So it represents both, where it's showing recognition of Somalia, and also it's letting the children also know their origin as well as Afro-Asiatic Hebrews. So these two flags, Oromia and Somalia, that's Afro-Asiatic, Eastern Cushitic. Okay. All right. Now you have Shem, Afro-Asiatic Shemitic, Central Shemitic. That is Afro-Asiatic Hebrews and Afro-Palestinian / Afro-Arab. Now, this is the flag that I made to represent Afro-Palestinian and Afro-Arab. Okay, because I already have the red, black, and green. That's the color and coordination that we have, right? The red, black, and green. So what I did for the Afro-Arab, Afro-Palestinian, because they have these colors too. They have black, red, green, I think gold and white. So I put the black, red, and green with the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew seal on there. And so as you can see, you know, this is the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew official flag. This flag will represent if you had an Afro-Asiatic Hebrew father, a Afro-Palestinian mother, or Afro-Arab mother. Again, it's showing you the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew love and support to the Afro-Palestinians and the Afro-Arabs. And it's also showing their support and love to us, the Afro-Asiatic Hebrews. It also represents any of our ancient ancestors or anyone who may be in those areas that are our ancient ancestors. And it will represent the children between the two. So it represents and give acknowledgement to the Afro-Palestinian, Afro-Arabs, but also not neglecting or negating or denying the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew presence as well. So this is Afro-Asiatic Hebrew Central Shemitic. This is Afro-Asiatic Hebrew official flag. This is the Afro-Palestinian, Afro-Arab flag. So as you see the two right there. Okay. All right. Now we have Afro-Asiatic Southern Shemitic. That would be Amharic Ethiopian and Tigrinya Eritrean. So let me show you that. So again, like I said, Each nation have their sovereign flag, so we're not trying to replace their flag or disrespect their flag or nothing like that. It's just showing you an alliance. So the Ethiopian colors is green, yellow, and red. So, of course, you have the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew flag, the official. You have the Ethiopian colors. Of course, this might be, see, this flag may represent who people, they don't like the word Falasha, but they might be known as Falasha, or they might be also known as Beit Israel, the Ethiopian Hebrews, the Ethiopian Jews, right? This is a flag that I made to, again, us showing love and support to our, our Ethiopian brothers and sisters, also our Hebraic brothers and sisters, and them showing support and love for us, like I said, with all the other flags. It also represents any of the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew ancestors or our ancestors who may be a tribe, clan, or in the country, like Beit Israel, the Falasha. This represents them. And then, if you had an Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, we had Afro-Asiatic Hebrew man had a child with an Ethiopian woman. The children is to represent the children, the alliance, and all that. All right. And then you also have Eritrea. Their colors is green, red, blue, and gold and yellow. So I have this. This represents the Tigrinya Eritrea. That's Southern Shemitic. You have the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew still, and you have that flag. So you have, this is Southern Shemitic, Eritrea, Ethiopia, but it has the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew flag. It shows that someone from Ethiopia, someone from Eritrea that's supporting Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, we're supporting them. If we had children, the children is represented. If the ancestors who may have been maybe in the country, after 70 AD was exiled there, or may have merged, or may be amongst the people, it represents them, but it represents the friendship and the alliance and the love for each other. Okay, now Ghana has some Hebraic roots. Ghana, the the word Ghana has a Hebraic connection with the word. I just learned, shout out to Brother Zion Lex, I just learned that the word Sankofa is Hebrew. That has a connection. Ashanti was a Hebrew city, and it has a connection. And Accra also, I think that was an ancient Hebrew fortress, and that's in the scripture. And there was a mountain in Jerusalem named Accra. So yeah, so Ghana has extended the year of return. They apologized for what had happened. You had a lot of Ghanaian brothers and sisters who was trying to fight for us to not be taken into captivity. And you have a lot of Hebrew history in Ghana as well. So I've also made their colors is red, yellow, and green. So you have Ethiopia is green, yellow, and red. And you have Ghana, which is red, yellow, and green. And there's a connection in history with both of them as well. But again, this shows support from Afro-Asiatic Hebrew to Ghana. This shows support from Ghana to Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. If you use the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew male that had children by a Ghanaian woman, Ashanti woman, this represents the children. So it represents Ghana, but it also represents and acknowledges their father or mother side, their Hebrew heritage. So basically, I was inspired to make these flags as a first. So our community, so the communities can be spoken for, they can be acknowledged. Because a lot of times, a lot of people, when it comes down to the subject, you know, we don't want to acknowledge this community. Like we acknowledge everyone else. We talk about acknowledging people's struggle, people's contributions. It's like, this is one thing that we want to acknowledge these people. We want to acknowledge these communities. This will also be, I have it in the Israel colors, the blue, white, and blue. This is for those who basically showing like, hey, this is Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, showing love and respect for those who are in Israel. This is those who are in Israel that's showing love and acknowledgement to the Afro-Asiatic Hebrews, that we are a part of this history, that the indigenous Hebrews were Shakor or Aswad or Tikor or Salemti or Mado or Guracha, you know, and they have no problem with that. You know, you've actually had honest, you've had, you know, I have Jewish friends. We show love to each other, and they don't have a problem acknowledging who are ancient. So let me show this. They have no problem. They have no problem identifying and showing that the 1446 BCE to 70 AD, our ancestors, our Afro-Asiatic Hebrew ancestors, their description and who they were. And also, they don't have a problem acknowledging the modern descendants from basically this flag represents 70 AD to 2019 and counting. You see? So both of these together is showing you that love and connection. And this is the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew seal, because I know, you know, and it's not to disrespect the different countries' sovereign flag. Like I said, it will be the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew flag. It'll be their sovereign flag. And this, it shows the alliance between Afro-Asiatic Hebrews and the Israelis or the Jews, and the Jews showing love and support to the Afro-Asiatic Hebrews. That's what this represents. Okay. And I did another flag where in Ezekiel it talks about the two sticks shall become one, that the house of Yisrael and the house of Yehuda will become one, right? So this flag is the two sticks becoming one, the two houses becoming united again. And so you have the Afro-Asiatic Hebrew seal, and it's a white flag. White represents peace. Okay. Over here in the Hebrew, this says the tribe of Yehuda. Over here, this says Bnei Yisrael. I think this says Shebet. I believe. Correct me. You know, I'm still learning. I think that's how you say tribe in Hebrew. Shebet Yehuda, the tribe of Yehuda. This is Bnei Yisrael. This is in the Hebrew pictograph of Proto-Canaanite script. And up top, it said Yahweh Echad. Yahweh Echad means Yah is one, and that's on the Shema. If you see here, it says Shema Yisrael Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Ve'ahabta e Yahweh Elohecha b'kol lebavka u'b'kol nefshecha u'b'kol meodecha. All right. So this is the flag that I made, showing the united house of Israel, basically the two houses, the two sticks, the two divisions of Israel. At the beginning, we was 12 tribes, we was one nation. Then we split. 10 tribes to the north, which is the we call Bnei Israel, the house of Israel, or the children of Israel, and 2 tribes in the south, which we call the house, you know, or the tribe, the house of Yehuda, tribe of Yehuda. Now, in the 12, in Bnei Israel includes Yehuda as one, or Judah as one of the 12 tribes. You know, so originally when you say Bnei Israel, it was a reference speaking about all 12 tribes. But now you have Bnei Israel, that's talking about the 10 tribes split to the north. and then you say Yehuda, the two tribes split to the south. Now, really, this is just for those who may be beginners. I know those who may already know this information. You know, I just try to make it simple for the newcomers and the new, you know, those who may be new to this. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you Kush and Shem. So again, let me do this again. Again, you had Kush, which is Eastern Cushitic, and that represents Oromia and Somalia, right? But it's also showing our alliance to you guys. So if there are my Oromo family, my Somalian family who support Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, get in contact with me. Let's build. Let's sit down. Let's go over our history. Let's build. Okay. Because we with you. So these flags showing you like, okay, you got some Afro-Asiatic Hebrews. We, you know, it's starting off with me because I'm the founder of Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. We're trying to show that peace, trying to show that love. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also trying to get the sovereign flag so I can have that as well. So we can show the three, you know. So we're not, again, we're not trying to replace people's flag. It's just something, even for the nations, the countries to know, like, okay, man, hey, we have an ally. We have some people. We recognizing them. They showing honor to us. It's like that. But this is our official flag. You know what I'm saying? So that was Eastern Cushitic. Central Shemitic, you have Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. You have the Afro-Palestinians, Afro-Arabs. That's representing that right there. Okay. All right. Southern Shemitic. You have the Amharic Ethiopians and Tigrinya Eritreans. That's showing you that we're recognizing them, and that's showing you the love and support from us to you all as well. We have our Ghana. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the wrong one. Let me do that over. You have the Ethiopian and you have the Eritrean. Those two. Yep, because green, yellow, and red, and green, red, and blue with the gold. All right. Then you have Ghana, who's showing us love, the president and the country, who is welcoming us, showing us love. Me and one of the elders, we went to Ghana Fest in Chicago. Man, they showed us love. They treated us like family. I just met a Ghanaian brother yesterday. Shout out to him. Very good brother, showing love. So it's hallelujah, man. We was getting chills. We viewed and embraced each other as family. So I know people with these different flags. I know people from Liberia, Nigeria, Ghana, Oromia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia. Man, you know, I just build with a lot of different people, and they build with me, and they show me love and respect. Even my, you know what? Even my Jewish brothers and sisters. And some of them, they know who we are. Like, they don't have a problem saying that. But one thing I do as Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, I try to show love and respect and professionalism. When I speak with people, I try to be like, I call it a professional Hebrew, you know, where I'm not trying to be on the offense, attacking. I mean, on the defense, offense, none of that. I just try to bring the olive branch, try to bring the peace. I'm trying to set a different tone, set a different look for our people. You know, that there are, you know, Afro-Asiatic Hebrews, we out here, we showing love. I mean, I have all type of different friends. I have Caucasian friends, like, and we get along. Like, I can be my Hebrew self and it's not an issue. So, you know, I wasn't trying to be long-winded. I just wanted to give, that's my reintroduction. I was able to receive something to kind of stream. So I hope, you know, I'm gonna try to do much more, try to do a couple of PowerPoints, but yeah, I just want to, in the end, I just want to let you know what Afro-Asiatic Hebrew represent. First, we represent the continent of Eden. That's Africa and Middle East. Um, we are Edenic. We are African. So even though we're on the so-called Middle East side, we are still African. We're Northeast African. So Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, we represent, we belong to, and we live and we come from the African continent, the Edenic continent. Africa, Middle East, before the Suez Canal, Middle East was considered Africa. Even if you go to Israel, there's a plaque. It says that you are in Africa. There's a plaque when you're in Israel, you know, it says that, hey, you're in Africa. And, you know, a lot of people that, yeah, I'm in Africa. They know that, you know, and even Israel sits on the African tectonic plate. The scripture in Bereshit or Genesis, I think chapter 2, it starts, the location it starts, it talks about the 4 rivers of Eden, 2 great rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates, and then the other 2 rivers are in Africa, the Nile and the river in Ethiopia, you know, and Kush stretched from India all the way down. You know what I'm saying? So Adam and Hawa, the first human beings, they were what we would call melanated, black. The first land, Africa and Middle East, is considered one continent. It's considered Africa. It's considered Eden. What's the second thing? We had relationships with, you know what's crazy? When you look up Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, it's basically the son is Shem and Ham together. You know what I'm saying? And if you look in the scripture, you always had a Ham and Shem relationship. Sometimes we would have disagreements, but even with family, you would have disagreements, because, you know, Japheth was our brother too. You know what I'm saying? We was all brothers. You know, when Yah saved Noah, he saved Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So whoever we are today, Yah deemed those 8 souls worthy to be saved. So think about this. Yah saved Noah, his wife, and Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and he told them to basically repopulate the earth. So these 8 souls was blessed, righteous, and count worthy to be saved. So I don't spit a doctrine. Oh man, forget the Hamites, forget the Japhethites, forget the Shemites, forget this and that. Y'all can give mercy and love who he's going to give mercy and love to. You know what I'm saying? It's my job to be the light to Ham, Shem, and Japheth. It's my job to be the light to my lost people, the lost sheep of Israel. It's my job to be a light to the Gentiles. It's my job to be the light. And the scriptures is a moral code. So that's what we're supposed to follow and show, you know. Yeah, so if Noah was Shakor or melanated, then that means Ham, Shem, and Japheth was melanated, right? So that means everybody in Asia and Europe and Africa and Middle East, all these areas started off melanated, started off black. We should be comfortable with that. That shouldn't be a problem. It's a scientific fact. You know what I'm saying? It's a biblical fact. It's a historical fact. So that means everybody comes from that. So we shouldn't be divided based on color or based on so-called race. You know what I'm saying? And the righteous should be set apart from the world, but we should be a light so the people can get some inspiration and get some understanding as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's just some things that we stand on. I'm pretty sure what I've stated before, but I wanted that to be very clear. You know, that you know, the difference between Kush and Shem, there was a relationship there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the next time we talk, I'm gonna go over the Hebrew pictograph letters and the Hebrew paradigms of the letter. I'm gonna start with the first 7, and we'll get into that. Okay. But I just wanted to show you our connections. And I wanted to show you those flags to show you what I've been working on since you last seen me. I know it's been a while. I'm gonna try to be on here more often and bring things to you all. You know what I'm saying? But May Yah bless you. May Yah keep you. May He shine His face upon you and give you peace. Thank you all for tuning in, listening. If you watch the video later, thank you. Share it. This is kind of introduction. I just wanted to talk about Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, Kush and Shem. I just wanted to show you the flags. I wanted to let you know what those mean. You know, after Shabbat, not now because we don't buy and sell on Shabbat, but after Shabbat, you can go to the website. It's www.afroasiatichebrews.com. AFROAsiatichebrews.com. So www.afroasiatichebrews.com. And soon I'll be having some t-shirts ready and having some other things ready for us to start. You know, my motto is educate, building bridges, solution. So that's going to be my focus to we all get an education on Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. These flags, you know, these flags are a way for me to build. I'm trying to build bridges. You know, I'm building bridges with the people. You know what I'm saying? This is me trying to educate, building bridges, educate, building bridges, solution. Afro-Asiatic. If you look at Afro-Asiatic, if you look at a map, you will see that the Middle East and the upper part of Africa stretching all the way to west, the northern, like all the way from Middle East, all stretching all the way over to west, to the west side of Africa. And the upper half of Africa, all that's Afro-Asiatic. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you look at the origin, if you look at the ancestors, if you look at those who had a big influence in the world, you'll see Kemet, Sumer, Israel, Babylon, a lot of different places that had a big influence and made a big contribution, which is Afro-Asiatic. You have the Ethiopians, the Kushites, all that. You know what I'm saying? Nubia, like, excuse me, sorry. But yeah, you'll see the Afro-Asiatic is a big portion of African and Middle Eastern history as one. You know, so my movement is Eden Echad, where we're bringing back the Middle East as a part of Africa, and then we're becoming one, Eden Echad, because I don't have nothing against the Pan-African movement, but one thing I do have is cutting off the Middle East as if that wasn't indigenously African. It wasn't melon, it was. So that's my job, to let you know that, yo, don't cut us off. You gotta reunite the family. A house divided shall not prosper. So we gotta reunite Africa and the Middle East as one Africa, one Eden Echad. You heard the first one. Uziyahu from Afro-Asiatic Hebrew. Shalom, shalom.